His call we obey, like Abraham of old, not knowing our way, but faith makes us bold. With this, I welcome you to yet another edition of our program, Guria Outreach, reaching you from the city of Benin. I am your host, Eguriase S.M. Okaka, welcoming you to this program. Today, I am looking at faith. What is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. When God called Abraham, God never gave Abraham a vivid description of where to go. God only told Abraham to leave his father's house and go to a land that he will show him. So Abraham took his wife Sarah and Lot, his nephew, and they left Mesopotamia to an unknown land. Now they were going. As soon as they got to Morah in Canaan, they settled there. It was there, because of this simple obedience, that God began to shower his blessings upon Abraham. Now, faith makes us bold, but fear makes us sink. The opposite of faith is fear. Abraham left and was going to a land which he did not know of, or he has not heard about. Let us see. By faith, the elders obtained a good report. A good report, not an evil report. So faith will give you a good report that they please God. Without faith, it is impossible to please God, for he that comes to him must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. God rewarded the faith of Abraham because he believed the God who called him and sent him. In the same way today, we should have faith and believe in the Most High God. Blessed are those that have not seen, but yet they believe. That was what Jesus Christ told Thomas Didymus. Thomas Didymus, when he heard that Jesus Christ rose from the dead and visited them, he did not believe. So he said, until I put my hands on his palm where they pierced him and feel that then I will believe that Christ has risen. So Jesus really appeared again and showed Thomas Didymus where they pierced him. And Thomas looked at it and put his hands there. Then Jesus said, blessed are those who have not seen and yet they believe. So faith makes us to believe what we have not seen, the evidence of things hoped for, and the evidence of things that we have not seen. That is faith. We need to have faith before we can walk with God. If you don't have faith, you will keep offending God daily in your life. A believer who does not have faith is a believer who keeps offending God daily in his life, in his or her life. Because you cannot follow God with your sight. You cannot follow God with your sensory perception. Rather, you follow God by faith like Abraham did. Abraham never saw God, yet he did not stagger in his faith, and his faith was accounted unto him for righteousness. His faith was accounted unto him for righteousness. This is a man who did not see God. He has a father. Abraham has a father. Abraham has a mother. Abraham was born like you and me are, but he believed God, and this belief was imputed unto him for righteousness, just because he had faith. That is what it is today. You as a Christian, you as a believer must have faith. The opposite of faith is fear. The opposite of faith is fear. You cannot follow God with your fears. You can't. You need to have faith, because faith makes us bold, while fear makes us sink. Now let us see this story. When Jesus Christ was walking on top of the sea, Peter saw him, and Peter thought that Jesus was a ghost. And Jesus said, I am not a ghost. So he beckoned on Peter to come. Immediately Peter stepped on the water. He started walking on top of the water. But when his fears came and told him that you are walking on top of the water, Peter looked at his fear and began to sink. So now, fear can only sink you, but faith will make you bold. No wonder if you read the Bible, you will discover that there are 366 do not fear in the Bible. So we have 366 days making up a leap year, while 365 days making up a year. Now, it means that there are 366 days do not fear in the Bible, which means have faith in God. God has so designed it that daily he told you not to fear. What does he want you to have? Faith. Faith living in this world. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. For by this the elders obtain a good report that they please God. If you have faith, then you will please God. But if you don't have faith, you will keep offending God every day, because you cannot serve God with your fears. you can only serve God with your faith. For by this the elders obtain a good report. Let me tell you one thing. Jesus Christ said, when I come again, will I find faith on the earth? Because he knows the importance of faith. He knows the importance of having faith. That is the only virtue that he asks us. When I come again, shall I find faith here on earth? You will see this in the book of Luke, chapter 18, verse 1. When I come again, shall I find faith on earth? Without faith, it is impossible to please God. If you want to please God daily in your life, you must have faith. So soon we have come to the end of this telecast. I am your host, Eguriase S.M. Okaka, saying until we meet sometime soon on this platform, bye for now.